Всем привет! В первую очередь, спасибо большое, что вы пришли. Я знаю, вы очень заждались уже гостя. Я единственное немножко расскажу то, о чем вы, возможно, не знали. Андреас с недавних пор стал официальным артистом Yamaha и, собственно, пополнил свою коллекцию вот такими инструментами. Это SLG, Yamaha Silent Guitar, и FSTA — это трансакустик гитара. Оба инструмента по-своему уникальные, очень необычные. Там используются супер классные технологии. Рассказывать о них долго не буду. Вы можете, в принципе, сами попробовать, познакомиться с этими инструментами, пощупать в любом из наших магазинов. И будет немножко необычным сегодня сам мастер-класс, потому что Андреас не будет рубить рифы. Он на самом деле покажет немножко другую сторону этого гитаризма. Мастер-класс будет акустическим. Собственно, наслаждайтесь. Andreas Kisser!
Cool, it's great to be here. Thank you very much for coming. I can see some faces that were at the show last night. Thank you very much. It was a great tour that we did here in Ukraine. It was 3 shows. And, I'm very happy that I have this opportunity to be here with you today, talking about the acoustic stuff from Yamaha. The acoustic guitar is my first instrument, actually. When I start playing with the acoustic, Brazilian popular music, learning the basic chords. Of course, listening to heavy metal and all the bands, I started listening to Kiss and Queen, and then Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and everything started to get heavier until to Metallica and Slayer. And all these bands, they have the guitar player that really represents the acoustic guitar in heavy metal as well, not only the distortion. And that influenced me a lot. You know, I went to the music school to learn to play Stairway to Heaven. That was my my biggest goal. But it was great, you know, listening to heavy metal and to the music and all this passion I have for the classical guitar and the acoustic guitar. I was very much influenced by them. I mean, the creator of heavy metal, Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath, was one of the guitar players who used a lot of the acoustic stuff. And one of the first one I learned was Orchid, if I'm not mistaken, on Master of Reality or Volume 4, one of those. And I'm gonna play a little piece here just to show a little bit of my influences on the acoustic. So. Thank you. I always like this contrast of heavy distortion, fast and groovy music, and these little beautiful pieces on the guitar. It's like the contrast was always really interesting to me, and it's a tradition that Tony Iommi started, and of course Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin, who used a lot of acoustic on Led Zeppelin, and other guitarists that follow Tony Iommi continue with this tradition. You know, with like for instance, when Ozzy Osbourne went to his solo career, he found Randy Rhoads, and Randy Rhoads is one of my biggest idols in music. And of course, Randy Rhoads brought that, and on the first album, Blizzard of Oz, he wrote a piece to his mother, Dolores, that he called D. And I'm gonna play D here because also is a big influence on my playing. Another piece that Randy Rhoads also was very much influenced by the classical guitar was Diary of a Madman, the intro for the song Diary of a Madman. It's inspired and it's almost like a copy from an exercise, a study exercise from Leo Brouwer. Leo Brouwer is a Cuban composer for classical guitar, and Randy Rhoads was much influenced by him. So I'm gonna play the piece from Leo Brouwer, and then I played the piece for Randy Rhoads. This is exercise number 6 or 5, Estudo Sencillo. Thank you. And Randy Rhoads picked up this and did the intro for Diary of a Madman. All right. When I joined Sepultura back in 1987, we worked on an album called Schizophrenia, and was my first release with Sepultura. And being influenced by those guys, I wanted to write also acoustic piece, for the album. And so I wrote The Abyss, and I put it on the album. And it's a long time I don't play that song, so I'm gonna try if I remember here. So. I think I remember the parts, but So this is something that it's with me all the time. I study classical guitar whenever it's possible. It's always a problem when you play electric guitar for the nails, you know, for the acoustic. Sometimes you have to adapt, you know. There's this little part on the last album, Machine Messiah, which I did on the instrumental song Iceberg Dances. And it was always a challenge, you know, because the first shows, your nail breaks like this. Happens on the first show in Lviv. But the show must go on, so... On Roots, we start messing around with different tunings. We dropped the tuning for very low tuning. And, you know, we did this big research on the Brazilian music. Not only the music we listen, the rock and roll and bossa nova and all that stuff, samba, but very much the percussion of Brazil, you know, that it's very heavy. And we did this work together with this Indian tribe, the Chavantes tribe, and I wrote a song that inspired to the harmony of the song. And I recorded this piece called Jasco on the album Roots, which is the intro for the song we did with the Chavantes. And of course you can feel that the Brazilian influence is stronger on this one. Especially a musician called Egberto Gismonti, which is a multi-instrumentist, and he has a lot of this vibe of this style, you know, of this piece that I'm gonna play. Thank you. So I'm gonna talk a little bit of the silent because this is an amazing instrument. You know, this little part here and up, you detach, and it's much easier to travel and to take it anywhere in the world. And it's something that's cool because I travel so much, and it's very hard to bring your acoustic. They're very expensive and fragile instruments, and this is a great option. You know, as you can hear, it sounds great. It have the tuner, have the volume, the different pickups, and the effects. You know, have like two different reverbs and a chorus, which sounds amazing. The other reverb. This is the chorus. So it sounds really good, and I recommend. So this is another Yamaha amazing, wonderful instrument. steel strings, which I don't use that much. I prefer to play the nylon strings with the finger picking and stuff. It's the style I like more. But I'll play a song here that we record on Chaos AD, which is called Kiowa. Basically the very first acoustic song that we ever written together, not only as an intro, but as an actual song, you know, inspired by the Indian tribe Kiowas from Brazil. Thank you. So this acoustic guitar is very interesting because, of course, as you can hear it, it's plugged in and everything's normal. But I'm gonna unplug the instrument. So this is the normal sound of the acoustic, but it has here something that you turn on, and you also have the reverb and the chorus the same as the silent. So see if you can feel it. Yeah? This is the other one. Pretty cool, huh? I wasn't expecting to play any electric, but I have a guitar here, and I'm gonna play some noisy stuff. Also, this amplifier, it's really interesting. It's like an amplifier that you can take to the dressing room. It's not something you use on stage, but for this kind of situation and on a dressing room, you put it there just to warm up before the show. It's great. So I don't know, what song should I play? No. Rise. An easy one, eh? Thank you. Good singing. So I'm going to open for some questions. If you might have, I'll be happy to answer.
Can you tell how do you control your playing when you're slightly out of tune, when you play hard, and when you play straight in tune, especially in heavy riffs?
This was actually more of a problem on the lower tunings. We use a very low tuning. Like I said, we start using on roots, like B flat. It's very low. But you know, the instruments, you have to have like a real balanced instrument. And when you play hard, but together, everything goes together. And me and Paulo, the bass player, we have this, we played together for more than 30 years, you know, so we have this connection, this chemistry that we go. And this was never a problem for us. Yeah, because you do. It holds, you know, everything goes together.
Пожалуйста, подобный вопрос такой. В плане си-бемоля, если у нас гитара, допустим, встроена си-бемоль, соответственно, какие струны ставить по размеру?
I have a Brazilian brand that work on my strings, that builds, fabricate my strings. And Sepultura used two tunings, one in D, everything goes down to D, and C bemol, B flat. But on B flat we use the gauge 013s to 060. It's almost like a baritone.
Привет. Вопрос такого характера. Ну, как после всех этих альбомов, после всех этих лет у тебя все еще получается писать оригинальные, охрененные рифы, которые, ну, и не самоповторяться? И есть ли какие-то советы, как бы, чтобы писать рифы и соло, и по структуре песни? И спасибо за то, что приехал и дал возможность нам пообщаться с тобой.
Well, first, I think the concept of the album, it's really helpful. When you have an idea, musically, it comes much more possibilities when you have a concept. For instance, on Dante 21st, we were inspired by the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri. So only reading the book and the story and the characters really inspired us not only to write lyrics but to write music. And we like to keep it open. We're never really afraid of trying new things, you know, to risk. I think art in general is risking, it's risk. So we try a lot of stuff, we do a lot of demos, we listen, and if you don't like stuff, we throw it away, and you know, we just try things. And besides the concept of the album, also traveling the world, you know, doing stuff like this today, meeting new people, new music. You tour with different bands, you know, opening bands that you learn, and you see bands playing different instruments and stuff. So this is very fresh to our ears and always inspired us to do different stuff. But I know also that musicians sometimes get to a point that he thinks he did everything. And it happens with everyone. So that's why it's good to study, you know, music. If you play metal, go listen to jazz or blues or different styles of music, that you see different musicians doing scales in different ways and different structures, you know, and that really helps you to write different as well.
Привет, Андрес. Почему Дерек перестал играть на своей гитаре на живых выступлениях, в частности на Джексоне Рурбек? Я надеялся, ему запретили или как-то забрали.
When he joined the band, he played a little guitar, but he doesn't have the thrash metal school, you know. He's more like a hardcore. Yeah, the hardcore, like more you know. That kind of stuff, but Sepultura is more the thrash, né? So he doesn't have that way of playing, you know. It's just different, and he felt much better on stage, much more free, you know, to play percussion and to run around and have more freedom on stage. His presence is much better, you know, than like playing guitar. It didn't work that well. I told him when he joined the band, if you want to play guitar in Sepultura, you have to learn 3 albums. Kill 'Em All, Bonded by Blood, and Raining Blood. These are great 3 albums to school. And he didn't learn those 3 albums, so...
Привет, а подскажи, пожалуйста, есть какой-то инструмент, который особенный в написании песен, самый любимчик из старых гитар?
When I'm writing, well, I have many guitars. Throughout the years, I work with many different companies. And of course, I bought some guitars as well. I work with Fender and Jackson for almost 30 years. I work with Fernandez guitar. I work with ESP, Charvel, of course, including some Brazilian brands that build guitars for me. I don't have a specific instrument that I like to write. I just need an instrument in tune. Porque an idea for a song can come from anywhere. You know, if you have nowadays with the smartphones and stuff, you can record anything. You know, even if your mouth, you know, something. I write a lot with my acoustic guitar because that's the instrument I have all the time on the road. But anything that I write here, I can develop with distortion, with heavy, in a different tuning. You know, it's just like to keep the melody and the time structure idea. And then we develop, you know.
Привет, рада видеть кумира.
Thank you.
Такой вопрос тоже касательно рифов. Люблю трэшевые рифы. Вот, есть идеи, пишу музыку, но у меня другая незадача с правой рукой, выносливость. Когда я долго играю рифы, устает правая рука, но может быть есть какие-то упражнения, чтобы расслаблять правую руку. Но все равно, чтобы оставалось это жесткое звукоизвлечение, вот, либо же может выносливость развивать.
Every exercise you do, you have to start slowly, of course, you know, step by step. It's of course always good, you know, to stretch your fingers, you know, do like this and like this. Scales are, I think, the best way for both hands, right and left hands, you know. It's not pleasant, but it's very necessary. And doing that, you have the ability to move around the strings, you know, with the right hand. But the worst you can do to play fast like thrash metal, you're saying, is like to move your arm. Doing that, you're not gonna play Angel of Death. I mean, only half of the song like that, you know. So everything is in here, basically. You have a little bit of this move, you know, and this, that helps a lot. No. Yeah. This goes together. My hand is doing this, but this hand is doing like that also, you know, like. Yeah, like I said, Metallica and Slayer, you know, they are a great school on that. That already is a great exercise, you know. If you keep doing that and you have the group, if you feel the group, or Chemical Warfare, no, Slayer. That's a great exercise as well. See, like slowly, and it's good also to train with a metronome, you know, so you keep the rhythm steady. And if you do that, very focused, organized, whatever you're gonna study, you have to focus on what you're doing, you know. If you stay in front of the TV doing scales and stuff, it's not that good. You know, you have to focus. Today I'm gonna focus on this scale, and I'm gonna, you know, go up like 2 points on the metronome, and I'm gonna play a little faster. And daily, you can develop.
Hi, Во-первых, спасибо за чудесный концерт вчера, просто офигенно было.
Thank you.
Во-вторых, про гитары. Какая гитара дольше всего тебе прослужила в жизни? Просто unbreakable, не обязательно Yamaha, кстати. И сразу второй вопрос. Кого из украинских команд еще знаете, в принципе? Спасибо.
I still have my first actually good guitar because I have some Brazilian models when I start playing, but I still have my Charvel with the Red Hot Chili Peppers sticker. I think you all know because I use the guitar everywhere, and I still use that guitar in the studio. I don't use that guitar on the road anymore, but she's still a great guitar, very balanced. She's still in tune, you know, if you keep that for months without you picked up, that she's ready to go. And I use on every Sepultura album since Beneath the Remains in '89.
The second question for the Ukrainian bands.
Oh yeah, sorry. Well, not really. I mean, we played with a few bands, but I think we came here like 10 years ago in Kiev or something like that, and we're only coming back now. This is the first time we play in Lviv, in Kharkiv. We play a festival as well, but usually it's very hard really to follow, you know, everything, because every day we're in a different place. But we keep our ears open. We always get CDs and material for bands, and we like to keep that. I have a radio show in São Paulo as well, so I play this kind of stuff for the Brazilian audience as well. Radio, yeah, I have a radio show together with my son. It's 7 years every Sunday, and we talk about heavy metal and etc. If you want to listen, it's on the internet. You can go radiorock.com.br from Brazil. BR. It's every Sunday in Brazil, 7 at night. He will be a little late, but. Sorry?
On that radio, you had an interview with Ginger. What do you think about it?
That's right, yeah, they came to our show. That's a band from Ukraine, god damn it. They came to our show last night as well. I think they were in Japan and stuff. And it's a recent band that we saw, and it's great, you know. It's very interesting. They came down to Brazil. They did a great show. They have a nice following, you know, all over the world. And it's great to see a band from here doing so well, you know. Thanks for reminding me.
Такой вопрос. Ну, когда играешь на гитаре там на студии, сидя дома, ты полностью сконцентрирован на гитаре, принял удобную позу, и получается играть очень чисто, все нотки звучат классно. Но когда ты выступаешь на шоу, тебе нужно, кроме того, что играть, еще там трясти хайером, бегать по сцене и так дальше. Бывает такая ситуация, что вот дома ты поиграл, все классно, выходишь на шоу, начинаешь играть грязно. Каким образом вам удается или не удается бороться с тем, что проседает качество звукоизвлечения во время шоу из-за того, что нужно еще там много чего делать?
Yeah, this is also like a routine, you know, because we play so much live. Of course, Sepultura practices a lot. We're always rehearsing, writing, but in the studio, right, we're just there sitting and playing and stuff. But you have to prepare yourself, of course. Know what you're doing, know the song, know the places. And then on stage, you turn out to be something different. You know, you're there, it's a whole different world. And it's show by show. You know, of course, in the beginning, if you see old Sepultura videos, we're all very tight, you know, like this, like, you know, learning. But slowly, you know, step by step, we started losing. When we got on tour, especially in Europe in general, we played Monday to Monday. You know, it's like every day is a show. So it gives you the rhythm. And, you know, if you ask Angus Young from AC/DC, you know, he couldn't play different on stage. You know, he couldn't play like... He has to be that way, you know. He couldn't really express himself that way, you know. So everything turns out to be natural if you really let it flow, you know. Each one of us have a different way of playing. I mean, you see John Petrucci and stuff. He's very, you know, because his music, it's very complicated and stuff. And but also Slash, for instance, from Guns N' Roses, you know. He was running all the places and playing great. If you feel comfortable, you know, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you know, the guitar will be there.
Во-первых, большое спасибо, что приехали. Вы большой человек в моей жизни, потому что повлияли на мое развитие как музыканта. Насколько вам понравилось в Украине? какие впечатления по приезду, по прилету и вот вообще после всего тура. Как вам саунд на концертах, люди, отдача?
I love Ukraine, you know, it's an amazing country. Like I said, we've been visiting here for many years. We've seen the changes and the development of the city and everything. And we see that you guys following Sepultura since the start. You know, this is amazing feeling. It's always a pleasure to be here. And we love to eat borscht, which is the best. With vodka, of course. No, thank you, Ukraine. It's amazing. This 3 shows has been fucking great. Amazing feeling. Thank you. We are working on a new album now. We are writing and stuff. The idea is to release the album next year, around February 2020, and we are definitely coming back to Ukraine with the new stuff, for sure. Thank you to the technicians as well and the translator. Спасибо.